What's up, Black Sheep, and welcome to your Sunday sermon. We are doing another reading today, and it's not going to be a pick a card reading. All I know so far is that this is a message for the Black Sheep, right? This channel started out as a place to do readings for Black Sheep and Cycle Breakers because there's such specific activations and such a specific collective that is coming up right now that's being guided to share their purpose, that's being guided to transmute everything that they've gone through, to turn it into something truly powerful and into something that magnetizes and creates a new world that we are all needing to see. And I'm trying a new format of video, so I hope that you enjoy being able to see the cards a little bit more. I've been working on upping my setup so that it's a little more satisfying, and let me know in the comments if you enjoy being able to see the cards. I hope that this reading resonates with you, and let's see what Spirit has to say. All right, Black Sheep, here we go. Let's get into your reading. The camera angle is a little funky because one of the new tripods that I bought didn't quite work, but we're just rolling with it, okay? So immense growth is what we have for you already, and this card came up again. If you watched my last reading, I actually heard from a few people that they resonated with pile 3, and this was the same card that came out for that as well. And I specifically asked Spirit, like, the colors that come up, like, I want these couple of cards to set the tone for the entire reading. So we're seeing these bright yellows, these blues being mirrored in both of these cards, and then these kinks purples. But these cards are super interesting because what we're seeing in immense growth is the turkey vulture. And this is reminding us that turkey vultures, or vultures in general, they purify the land, right? That's what this card speaks about, is how suffering is kind of inevitable, but the vulture comes in after the suffering is completed, after the prey has come to its natural end, and then kind of cleans up the landscape by being able to feed off of that, essentially. And with this card, this also speaks to going into the difficulty, right? Understanding that it's not about healing in general, it's not about living a perfect life or everything being, easy all the time, but it's about holding yourself through the process of difficulty and knowing that you are going to be able to make it through, right? And so even with immense growth, like, we have to embrace the suffering, we have to embody it, and in that time, it'll pass us and it'll leave us with its lessons, right? So suffering can always be alchemized. And I feel like this is a lot of the past of your journey as well. It feels like so much of your past journey has been you in this process of understanding the suffering, understanding that it's not your fault that you went through the things that you went through. It's not your fault that you experienced the pain that you went through, but you are now using it for your own growth, for your own power. And that is what is truly beautiful. And the last card that came out, I wanted to shuffle for one last one from this deck, and we have Prayer Answered with the Buffalo. So this is reminding you that so much of what you have earned, so much of what you have evolved into, evolved away from, is leading you to something, right? And while, like, buffalo can definitely represent abundance, this is abundance in multiple ways, not just financially, but I feel like the biggest piece of it is knowing yourself, knowing who you are, being in that sense purified or clarified, like we see in immense growth, and kind of taking what is truly yours to the next level. Something that's also sticking out to me here is all these colors are still similar colors, but this one is far less saturated, and it feels like that's almost what this perspective of life was like for you. So much of what you went through when things were really heavy, everything felt more vibrant, even if it was painful. It felt like the experience of everything was heightened. And it's kind of like when you think about, what life used to look like as a kid. We, turn up the saturation in a video and we say like, oh, this is what life used to look like. It almost feels like that, graduating from this younger version of yourself to someone who has more knowledge, to someone that has been able to accomplish more and stand through more. And while it seems like everyone wants to be in this vibrant energy, there's something about this movement where it's like you're now able to hold back in a discerning way, in a helpful way, where you're not muting yourself down at all. But what you're actually doing is understanding yourself enough to know when to hold back, to know when to use your full force. But it's almost like it's almost like you've built this barrier, right? That's what self worth really is. That's what self value is. That's what positive self talk is. It's a barrier to how you like experience life. And you know, those people that don't have any sort of emotional regulation, they don't have any ability to calm themselves down or be self aware or hold their emotions back. That's what this vibrancy is representing that I'm seeing in these colors, right? Like this inability to regulate, this inability to actually, navigate yourself in a tactical way is kind of what I'm hearing. With this, it feels like you've almost untangled all of these different colors into these layers. You've understood these parts of yourself, but you also know how to use that in terms of your own power, how to use that in terms of your own growth. And okay, 8 of Wands. So this is almost feeling like something might be coming in, or let's get some clarification here. 10 of Wands. That's interesting. Okay. Wow. This is really interesting. Okay, so I'm seeing that so much of your time has been spent waiting. That's what I keep hearing. You've been on this journey to create something, to make this new version of you. Feels like in this journey and in this process, you have done so much work, but then there's been this opposite side where you're almost like, okay, well, where's my reward? Like, I've carried so much of these burdens, and you took on your growth and your healing almost as a new thing that you were burdening yourself with. It didn't always even feel connected to your freedom. While the journey may have started in that way and you've experienced that along the way, a lot of this began to feel like a burden on you. It began to feel like something you were waiting on. Like, when am I going to reap the rewards? When is this going to be something positive? When is this going to turn into what I'm here for? 9 of Cups. Yeah, so it's coming, right? Okay. It's getting cut off a little bit. Let me put it right here. 9 of Cups. I feel like this is so much of this energy is being transformed into actually being able to receive, right? With the 9 of Cups and 9 of Pentacles, it feels like there is so much growth that is, and yeah, connected to this growth card, right? It actually, I'm hearing circle back. It feels like you're circling back into this vibrancy, but in a different way. You're here now with this, intellect and with this self-awareness, and like I said, that foundation, right? The foundation of self-worth, self-love, self-value, self-respect. That's what you've gone on this journey for so long to be able to create. And I'm almost seeing like you holding these sticks and them being plucked out of your arms one by one until you're able to release them, until you're able to send them flying, right? And actually let go and actually begin to finally receive what you've been waiting on. But the process of waiting itself, this process of like, I'm watching the seeds that I planted and checking on them every single day to see if they're growing. There may be some days where it doesn't look like a seed is growing at all. There may be months where they're just buried underground and you're just waiting, but that doesn't mean that they won't harvest, right? That doesn't mean that the growth isn't happening. It's like this flip thing where you freed yourself, but now you're almost burdening yourself again by trying to, I'm hearing call the shots. I'm also hearing direct the movie. So not allowing things to unfold is in fact you saying that you don't trust your journey and you don't trust the universe and you don't trust the forces, including yourself, that have gotten you this far. And I'm called back again to the word transmute. Like, how are you able to transmute these lessons into something that is significantly more productive, or into something that at least adds to your energy? The Emperor feels significant right now, Black Sheep, for your collective, because you are truly stepping into this role of authority. And for so long, you have been told what to do. You've been told what to do, how to act, who to become, who to be, how to exist in this world. And you are finally taking that authority back. And so this is where you also have to be really mindful of these thoughts of like, I'm burdened. When is it going to come? When is it going to happen? It's like you've gone through too much of a journey to get here, to get to this place where you are now letting these thoughts run back over you, or to where you're, asking the universe like when things are going to show up, when you're doubting your journey. All of that needs to be put on pause and kind of be put under this role of reflection where you can say, you know what, I'm the authority. I'm the end all be all of my life. I'm the one who gets to decide what I'm doing and how I spend my time. And obviously, this isn't to say we aren't accountable. We should be accountable to ourselves, to our communities, to the collective. But I feel like you have escaped other people's negative thoughts of you, and now you're trapped in your own. Wow. Okay, did you see how the Queen of Pentacles just flipped over? And on top of the prayer answered card, yeah, there is something coming. There is a sense of being able to master your money, is what I'm hearing. Master your money mindset. And to be able to receive what it is that is coming for you. It feels like what's interesting about money that I just heard is that what you are getting, not only are you getting money, but you are getting power and purpose. I immediately heard that quote though, with great power comes great responsibility, right? So what I'm hearing is that Spirit wants to give you these gifts. They want to give you things, but it's not for no reason. You have a job to do and you have a role in this world. You have a role in the collective. You have a responsibility to uphold. So it's almost like as you start to see these blessings coming your way, just as much as you are receiving things, like you're not just receiving them to, drop off the face of the earth and go like live a quiet life. You have so much to do. You have so much that's unfolding in front of you. And it's like Spirit wants to give you these things all together because that's what your come up is. Like your come up is literally combining the blessings that you have received with the newfound power that you have, and power in a healthy way, power in a way that can help you help other people. Shut up. I just got the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, clearly like abundance is here. Abundance is coming. If you've been worried about finances, if you've been worried about social abundance, being able to meet a community of people who you are connected with, it's interesting too because we have the 9 of Pentacles, which can often represent that sort of independent wealth, right? Like she has so much going on, so much growing around her, but she is alone. But then we also follow that up with this 10 of Pentacles. So this is saying not only are you abundant in finances, but you are abundant in the sense of community and people around you and a purpose. Again, like your community and your purpose are so intertwined and are so connected to one another. You can't have one without the other. And because of this independent wealth and these independent resources, because of the community that's coming in, that's giving you these loving connections that you want to protect, that is essentially turning you into the Queen of Pentacles, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles has a lot to protect. She knows that she has so much to offer. She knows that she has just as much to give as she has to receive. She's able to tend to this wealth and to help it grow, but also tend to her community and protect them in a way. And so I feel like all of these things are like things that you are already incredibly passionate about. You know that you are here for a reason, and you know that you have people that you want to be there for. I just had a card go flying on the floor. Okay, here it is. It is the 5 of Cups. This is interesting. So I feel like for so long, okay, wow. So the 5 of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles right next to one another kind of have the same energy right now of constantly being kind of focused on what it is that isn't going well, being focused on, and just, I'm hearing negative pull. It feels like when you see a day where your videos don't do that well, or maybe you see a day where your sales are stagnant or something happens or you get rejected, it feels like that has so much more pull, that pulls your attention, that pulls your focus so much more than what's still going well around you, what's still growing around you, the work that you have accomplished, right? And so this is a reminder to, again, call yourself back with the self-talk. And it's not to say like, oh, I'm never going to, speak negatively, or I can't feel negatively. Like, you can doubt yourself, you can feel negative, you can be stressed or be worried about what's to come, but it's about holding yourself through it, right? Holding yourself through the suffering that may come up, through the stress, through the frustration, knowing that ultimately that is what you deserve, that is your responsibility. Part of your responsibility toward the collective is being able to manage your own thoughts, right? So again, holding yourself through the difficulties, holding yourself through the times where you are feeling that fear, feeling that frustration, and ultimately knowing that it is that things are still working out. And so instead of continuing to ruminate here, quickly moving out of that energy with that 8 of Wands and reminding yourself that you have so much going for you, and then it doesn't have to manifest in physical evidence. This is why you learned trust. This is why you learned self-trust, was to be able to navigate through difficulties like this, knowing that there is still movement happening, knowing that there is still so much that you are able to do. And if one day this community gets a little quiet, if one day the results begin to disappear, you have to make sure that you have a strong enough foundation to actually hold everything it is that you have, everything that it is that you're wielding in terms of your power. Okay, we have the Empress here, the Temperance, and the Strength. I think with these 3 being major arcana cards, these are going to be our last cards for this reading. It's really summing up all of the energy here. Okay, I had to fix the cards a little bit. They're bugging me. They're still bugging me, but we're just going to get through this reading. Okay, what's interesting is the placement of these cards. I really felt like placing them this way, but then I moved these cards down, and I feel like that's actually reflecting this message a little bit more. So you have the strength to manage this authority that you have, not only just like this authority over other people or this power that you have, but over yourself, right? Again, that self-awareness that you have, the ability that you have to talk to yourself, to bounce back from certain difficulties, is exactly what makes you the right kind of person to do the work that you are doing, right? You are going to have the strength and the ability to tame the inner beast, to tame the things that come up for you that are challenging you, whether that's internal or external. And again, it's not about avoiding certain things. It's not about making yourself immune to them. It is about moving with the flow of it all, right? With the Empress as well, we're receiving and we're opening ourselves up to receive what as the Queen of Pentacles would. But the Empress is also about understanding this kind of flow of how things go, understanding that things don't always have to be coming at you so quickly, and new opportunity and new thing and new that. This person is able to maintain what they have, and maintaining in itself is a skill, right? Tending to, just as the Queen of Pentacles would do, these cards are able to keep what they have, to continue nourishing it, to continue polishing it. And that feels really, that's what's going to help you grow, right? It's not always about reinvesting and getting new money. Like, that's a big piece of it, but also it's about taking care of what you have and cherishing it. It's not just, oh, I get this and I throw it back out and something else comes at me. And even with opportunities, even with chances, even with things that you're doing, it's not always just about, I get this and I put this out, and that it's not so transactional, right? Everything can be tended to. Everything is this garden. And with the Emperor and the Empress, there's this really kind of balance. Like, I don't really like talking about feminine and masculine energies so much. Like, I feel like it's just repackaged gender roles, but having both of these cards out together does feel significant. Like, the ability to have this structure and also this ability to kind of go with the flow, but both being very important, and both having the discernment to know when to do which, when you're able to flow with your creativity, but when you also have deadlines and when you have to get things done. Like, leaning too much in either direction is not going to be beneficial, and you need the skills that you've developed to become both of these people and to use that together to help yourself expand but also maintain. Expand but maintain. That feels really big. Okay, then this Temperance. I'm hearing two things. I'm hearing ask for more and ask for balance. I'm hearing your spirit guides say, like, we're working on it, so give us time. So don't focus so much on how impatient you are. Focus more on what is coming and how you are excited to receive that, how you're excited to maintain that, and also how to prepare your vessel is what I'm hearing as well. So maybe you've been called more to working out or eating healthier or drinking more water. Maybe you just find yourself caring more about the physical, whereas normally you get very caught up in the esoteric. And know that what you can't see, your guides have your back. In the things that you can't see, in the things that don't seem fruitful yet, your guides have your back, and you never know what could be protection. You also never know what could be coming up that you don't see yet, or that isn't what it seems. You could be pining after opportunities that are not what they're cut out to be, not what they are cut out to seem. And so that as well feels really important there. And so that also feels important to say. Ultimately, like, you are receiving so much. Ultimately, your prayers are answered for what it is that you want, but know that it's not just about you getting this thing. It's not just about you getting a phantom check in the mail. It's about you having a sustainable stream of income, or streams of income, or ways that you're able to grow and give back and be of service. And so all these things are coming in together, and when you notice yourself spiraling, call yourself back to the power that you have. Call yourself back to this version of you who knows what they have, who's been through so much, but who's also wise enough to not throw everything away, who's wise enough to know how to wield their gifts and their responsibilities for the greater good. So I hope that this reading resonated. I know I'm kind of like fumbling around with this new setup. Like I said, my previous tripod that I just got didn't end up working for this, so I'm still kind of figuring it out, but I hope that you enjoyed this new format. Let me know if you want me to keep doing card readings like this, or if you prefer being able to see me, or if you want me to see if I can show you some of the cards and some of me as well. Definitely let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if this resonated. If you want to get a reading from me and dive into what's going on for you personally, what's coming up for you, what's next for you, there's 2 ways to book readings with me online. So the first one is a voice note reading. This is going to be a quick and easy 1-question reading. It still provides a lot of clarity, a lot of guidance, but it is going to be just a voice recording that I send you. So you get to keep the recording, you get to listen to it as many times as you want, but it's just for the 1 question, and we don't sit down face to face. The second option is to sit down face to face, either for a half hour or a full hour, to do an in-depth reading. So this means if you want to stop me and dive into something, if you want to ask questions about multiple topics, if you want to get deeper into, action steps that you can take or other advice, we can get into all of that in an in-depth reading. I also often end up coaching a lot of people in readings as well. When they have questions about how to navigate something, what to do, certain mindset shifts, I can also kind of coach you along with doing the reading as well. So people actually usually really enjoy that. And I feel like it gives them something else to kind of take home with the reading. The last option is actually an in-person reading. If you're in Denver, Colorado, I am offering readings through Alchemy Ritual Goods at their Ancestral Medicine Clinic. So every other Saturday, I'm going to be offering readings. The next Saturday that I have after this video goes up is actually going to be January 31st, but you can book into February. All of my calendar dates are up on their website now, and you can book that online, come in, and then you'll pay in person when the reading is over. So I would love to connect with you and do a reading for you soon if you feel called to it. And otherwise, I hope that you remember that you are worthy, whether you believe it or not. I love you. Happy healing.